daily drivers under $20,000, right? So I put together like a little list here of different vehicles. Now, I've picked all of them for very specific reasons, either because they're fun to drive, nice to drive, get great gas mileage, or they're just well-rounded, and at the end of each segment or at the end of each tour of the vehicle I will be showing you, then I will kind of explain why I chose this vehicle. So this is the 2017 Toyota Camry Hybrid. Now, my friend recently purchased, I helped him purchase, a 2017 XSE Toyota Camry. I drove it. It was very, very fun to get out of my hybrid, but I will say this is a hybrid. This is the XLE hybrid, which means it's the highest trim level you can get in hybrid form. So what are the perks and disadvantages of driving a hybrid? There are two main things. You get great gas mileage, unless you really hate your credit card or debit card or cash. You hate not spending money, then you're gonna love that, right? And the driving experience. Now, I'm just making a quick argument here. I'm not rambling. I am, but I'm gonna stage it as a quick argument here. A lot of people like to say that hybrids are disorienting because when you drive them, it's just smooth. You put your foot to the, whatever acceleration speed you want, and it just and kicks on if it needs the engine, right? My Prius, 3/4 of all the time that I'm driving, the engine isn't even running, right? Just smooth acceleration, smooth deceleration. I live in Florida, short streets, short blocks, small yards, just get out the driveway, go to Whole Foods, Oregon, different story, but I find it fun and relaxing to drive, right? Rather than a traditional gas car. And remember, a lot of people, when they get in a hybrid, they think it's going to be jerky, right? Like, they're driving, smooth, jerk, the engine turns on, takes over from the hybrid, system. But the hybrid Synergy drive is essentially an entire box full of Play-Doh. So both systems can work together in harmony to peacefully transfer power, right? And hybrids are great. I actually prefer their driving to regular gas cars. As someone who grew up in regular gas cars, I do find it disorienting sometimes, like waiting for the shift or expecting it to upshift or downshift when going up a hill or something. And nothing, just mushy CVT, just and one thing that I do like about the Prius, right? A lot of times people like to pretend like there's something they're not. I hate the fake shifting. Like we've seen on Nissan CVTs, that fake shifting crap that they put in there, it's half the reason why their CVTs suck so bad, right? They pretend to shift, they jerk, and that just ruins and messes everything up. Despite, the gigantic, smoother running, oil sits lower design that they've created and conjunctured for themselves, right? It's not the correct nomenclature, anyway, that they've collaborated with Jetco to make. And I think that's the worst part of CVTs, is the fake shifting. Other than that, they're great. So let's take a look at the interior of this vehicle. Cream white leather, just amazing, great, and it's leather. Now, a lot of people will talk about Tesla, and they're like, oh, my Tesla leather can't stain. This leather will stain. More specifically, the stitching will, and in between the leather will stain. But it's more comfortable than Tesla's fake cow pleather. It's just awful. Have you ever sit in the back of a Tesla? You feel like you're sitting on saran wrap, right? This car, very nice, cushy. I mean, look at how much, seating you have to seat, right? Now, let's just talk about the Camry for a minute. The Camry is a car that's been around forever, and I needed to pick something that was within our $20,000 budget, nice enough where it could be modern, because remember, this is a more modern video. Despite the fact that I preach buying older cars, saving your money, yada, 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 this is about newer cars, and I'm fine with that. So I needed one that would be newer, exciting, without having all the gobbledygook of newer cars, and there it is. The screen does not stick 10 feet up among the dashboard. I know, it's crazy. You're probably, jumped out of your seat right now and crazy. Believe it or not, screens don't have to be 10 feet above the dashboard. They can actually be in the dashboard. Like I said, in my previous video, my Prius screen, it's in the dashboard, or at least in my 2012. And if I tried to pull that thing out, I'd need a crowbar. That's how I like my stereo systems, not flinging above where I feel like, I touch it too hard and it's just go over on the dashboard, right? Other than that, the car is just so well put together. This plastic, we have to talk about this plastic. Toyota makes a lot of stylistic decisions, which are great and bad. This is a plus and a bonus at the same time. So, this plastic, you see it, it feels cheap, right? When you touch it, it's that what the looks like it's like the texture of that fake chrome that you see, that crap. It's the texture of that, except it's not chrome, so it doesn't flake off, and it doesn't wear at all. So I know it looks like a minus that it has this crap running through it. It's actually very nice material. My friends, again, has it. I've gotten into this car more deeply, which is why I'm making more lists with it, because I'm more familiar with this vehicle, right? And no, I did not do a video or a test drive on it, just because things are crazy right now, and I can't organize the footage. I haven't been doing videos on my Mac channel either. I can't organize footage. I can't edit that well. I'm tired. I'm too exhausted and tired for this right now, and I'm trying. So, thanks. But other than that, the entire interior is very, very nice. You've, of course, got leather. Wow, that got deep there for a second. You've got leather on the doors, only on the places that you'd really feel it. Of course, this is plastic. Other than that, it has a plasticky feel and ride, but remember that gas mileage and that driving style. I really think that some of the annoyance of suspensions and all that crap isn't that you feel the bumps, it's just the engine, You feel brrr constantly, the transmission, the shifting, everything, very jerky, right? The hybrids, it's smooth, and I like that, right? Some people... So yeah, some people really like that feel and some people really don't. I personally really, really do. So you can of course see 20,990. Not bad at all. XLE sedan, 68,000 miles, not bad at all. Everything in this car looks very nice. I will in fact love this Camry. Everything about it is great. Front-wheel drive powertrain, which means it'll be fine. This 4-cylinder hybrid, 2.5 liter. I explained the MPG and how it should go up. This one goes down just because, like I said, smaller engine doesn't gain efficiency with speed, and you've got, the hybrid system there to deal with all the lower speeds, right? Automatic, continuously variable transmission, right? Fuel, and the prior use was in a fleet. Now, a fleet would seem bad. My experience with fleet cars, I bought, my 2008 was a fleet car. A fleet car Prius, what were they thinking? Priuses are great. Not for fleet cars, they aren't. But I don't know what they were thinking. And it's actually not been that bad. They've actually, sometimes, it can be really bad where they've just, it also has heated seats, EV and eco mode. Sometimes the companies abuse it really badly where it's just like, just throw the keys at them, whatever, just take it, we don't care what happens as long as you bring it back type thing. The company that, I believe it was like an insurance company, and it was very well taken care of. I had maintenance records, everything was written down, the company cared about it. I had oil change stickers, they actually put all the oil change stickers that they would put, on the windshield, at, what's the chain, Valvoline? I don't remember. And they'd write it down. They put that in a little booklet so you could, I don't know why, but they cared about that car a lot. And so far it's been better to me than any other car I've had. 2008, it's had less problems than my 2012. So a fleet vehicle can seem scary or bad, but honestly, my experience with mine has not been that bad. The next car on this list is this Subaru Outback. This is a 2019, and you're going to understand. So this is a 3.6 liter, which means you get a bigger engine, you're definitely going to need it, right? It's an Outback, it hauls more stuff. You've also got amazing, great ground clearance. This is the official vehicle of Oregon. Back in May Day of 2005, everyone drove around Honda Pilots. Now everyone drives around these. And quite frankly, I envy them. The interior, I love the tan leather with the brown wood. It's always been great. It's always been beautiful, and it's always worked. You've also got this type of stitching, right? Nowadays, sorry Camry, you've got this, which is the we don't care, we're only going to put it on the parts that you... Fine, I'll just go over there myself. They only put it the leather on the parts that you actually touch, and the rest of it is plastic. Everything that you touch is very nice and leather. And Toyota doesn't do this, and a few other car companies do this horridly. They match the color of plastic with the leather color. I've seen that so many times. We're in our Honda Odyssey, right? We had cloth, and they had silver inserts, and it looked fugly. And this is so much better. Perfectly color matched, and it's not worn where this is dark brown and the leather is still, nice, light, and fresh, right? Aged equally, very, very nice. Put a lot of thought in there. I just love the cream interior. It's always been a favorite of mine. Automatic driver and passenger seats. This is the top trim level, top selling Subaru model at the time. They're going to put some work into it. You've, of course, also got Puffy. Puffy. Bring back Puffy. I want my Puffy seats. Now, I love the Prius a lot, but the seats are just driver bus seats. You just sit down. I had to replace mine with Lexus LC seats just for it to be even road trippable. You sit in it and you're like, wow, is that it? I envy these gigantic, fluffy, cuddly, Cadillac Oldsmobile 70s leather, right, that you get in this car. Again, single zone? Yeah, single zone climate control. Everything in this car is really nice. You have your gigantic super media system over there. And when a screen is big, usually it's trashy, right? You're like, I don't want that. This one is very nice. 3-stage heated seats. Steering wheel over there, screen, everything with that is very, very good. Of course, you got your shifter, jigsaw. It's a small shifter. It's a Prius shifter in disguise, right? You've, of course, also got your modes, your parking brake. One thing that Subaru doesn't do well, like you've seen it with the Toyota with that transition plastic, is center consoles. It's just like a slab of plastic, and that's how it is in the later models, and honestly, I don't think they don't care. No, dual zone climate controls, forget about that. Subaru is weird that, they do things in such a very nice way, except we forget that they're so nice and care a lot. The temperature is read within the dial, so when you turn it, it's not going to be on the screen like I expected it to when the car is on, right? Again, dual zone climate control, the entire car is very nice and great for off-roading. Fog lights, I've expressed my love for fog lights before. I love them. I love to turn my fog lights on when I'm not even driving, just because it illuminates the road markings, whatever, especially on smaller streets when it's really, really foggy. Not bad at all. Love them. Backup camera, everything you'd want from this. This one is $15,000, 149,000 miles. Not bad at all. This is a 2019, which is the last year of this generation. Went through one facelift, so yeah, not bad at all. If you can find one, that'd be great. The next one on this list is the Toyota Prius V4. Now, this is personally a 2017 V, but you can also go up to 2017 if you want anything newer, I guess. Other than that, the car is beautiful. Gray metallic exterior and these wonderful wheels. Again, one thing that I don't like is the Toyota styling, like this crying. It looks like from Steven Universe, like I can't recall the plot of Steven. I'm too tired for that. But, everything about it is just super nice and super stylized and stylistic. Everything is beautiful. Toyota put a lot of work into this car, and it shows, right? You've got your classic Toyota, gauge cluster. Now, a lot of people, these car journalists, they think that is stupid. That is out of date. That's dot matrix. That's so 90s. And you need to fill up on gas, right? It's a Prius, but that doesn't mean it doesn't need gas. Jeez. But, mine, I love it. It's just so much better than these screens. Because these stupid backlights, I've had a backlight go out on this one before in my 2012 Prius. The backlight went out. It was horrid, right? Replacement, all that crap. This is just so much better, and it's so much easier to see in sunlight. It doesn't reflect that much. I get it's anti-glare and everything, but still. If this thing even sees like a phone flashlight or the little lights in the interior, it just washed out immediately. And also these lights are overly nice and bright so you can see them from your chair, because remember, this is further than it usually would be, which is right in front of your face. Unfortunately, this is a Prius, which means it has Toyota sloppy Prius works. It does have a better audio system than mine, and it does have a better temperature control than mine. I really like the single knob. It's not bad at all. Not lying about that at all. And then you've got your Prius seats. These, they suck. They really do. Like I said, whenever a car company does something cheaply, they have to have an excuse, right? They feel like they're overly apologetic, right? We're so sorry this is a cheap car. It's actually very sporty, and it's also actually very luxurious for the price. Toyota goes for ergonomics with the Prius because they're like, oh, the people that are buying this, they don't care about fanciness. They want to save the planet, right? They want, they wouldn't buy, a leather Serta. Ugh, they would turn their nose up at that. They want something like an ergonomic Herman Miller chair, right? That's what they want. So they try to make them, air quotes, ergonomic with, unadjustable lumbar support. They're terrible. They're awful. You will need a replacement for these seats. Just get in, I found the LC seats work really well, or HS seats. The HS seats were really, really nice, but the LCs were a little bit nicer. These, if you don't know, the LC and HS are both the Lexus versions of the 2010 and 2012 and later Prii. And they all use the same mounts. You will need a wiring harness converter. I've not seen one of those sold. Just getting solder. So many people are afraid to just solder things. Just do it. It's fine. Or just make, your own plug. It's not that hard. Again, great car. Not bad. Listed 188 days ago. Oh, God. I checked this one. Ignore that. Clean title. How is it a clean title? Personal use clean title, 2 owners. Just a very bad owner. Forget the 3 accidents. Forget that. Other than that, the entire car is very, very nice and very well put together. Great. 117,000 miles. Will last forever. The next car on this list is the Volvo S80. So we've already seen the best of the best. This is just the best. This is what you should get. We've seen the most well-rounded in terms of luxuriousness, gas mileage, ease of driving, luxuriousness. We've seen like the off-roader can go anywhere you probably realistically want to go and can get all the groceries you needed to get. We've also seen the hyper-efficient version of said car, except it cannot go off-road, but boy can it store groceries, and now we're seeing the extreme luxury version. The Volvo S80. Now, the 2016 was a very forgotten model. It was only made for 2 years, 2015 and 2016. And I don't think anyone even knew it was existed. If you knew how tired I was, no one knew that this existed, right? This one permanently has lived for, serious, wow, ancient logo. But yeah, this one has lived pretty, I've heard it was, let me look at the file, pretty good deal, everything's there, front wheel drive, automatic, 158,000 miles, yeah, not bad. It's actually been, and again, remember, the gas mileage goes up by about, this is a i4 direct injection. Good, what do they put in those direct injection engines? 12 miles difference. Wow, this thing gains, like I said, engines gain speed with efficiency. You should have a deficit between your city. And if it's just a standard gas car, it does not apply to hybrids at all. Completely different pot of soup, right? But there should be about a 10, or 7 mile per gallon difference between your city and your highway, just to make sure that your engine is appropriately sized for lugging your car around. And this thing, an i4 drive, that has to be wrong. This has at least got to have a V8 or a V6. That is, no. Wow, it really has an inline 4. I know I said V4 in my other things, and I was an idiot for saying. Anyway, very interesting. The car, again, you've got that floating, coolness to it. You've, of course, got your wood. Everything about this car is super, super nice. Very luxurious. Again, this is, like I said, that this was like that comfortable leather. This is that comfortable leather. It's that where you just sit in it and you sink. Now, the issue is the front seats have been hardened and weathered with time. Usually I would just say get some leather wipes, but I can see some deeper grooves at a level 7. I can see some permanent damage here, like graying, roughed up towards the sides, scratches. Leather wipes ain't going to bring that back. You're probably going to need a new front seat, or at least front seat upholstery. Other than that, this would be a great purchase, in my opinion. $9,000, 158,000 miles. It'll drive and live forever. There are some Volvos, like the S40 or V50, where you look at that and you're like, ugh, right, with the V5 engine, awful idea. And you just, wow, this sucks. And then you've got something like this, where it's like, wow, it'll last almost as long as the Lexus. And it just depends on what Volvo you're buying, right? The next car on this list is the Honda Accord. Now, this is a 2019. And what is this one's differences from the Camry? Well, the Camry is better. It's a hybrid. This is more, kind of a worse version. I would say this is more luxurious. You've got leather, even in places where you don't need it or will be touching it. You've, of course, also got wood. It's classy. I would say this is more like a more luxurious, less useful Camry. Usually what Honda tends to be, right? Of course, you've also got seat controls and everything. Very well thought out. Very ergonomic. Actually, wow. Honda, you figured out ergonomics. Congratulations. Wow, you've actually figured it out. Huh. After Toyota messed it up so badly, I thought ergonomics would be dead. But, yeah, these seats actually very nice. I forgot, yeah. Did I ever... Okay, every single time I pull up a car, I don't want to talk about things that I don't have experience with. And I've driven a lot of cars just because I have a big family and a lot of friends. And I'm like, everyone in the family, there's like a tech guy, and there's the car guy. I'm the car guy. So whenever needs a new car, I'm like, hey, I need a new car. I'm like, oh, great. And then we go car shopping. So I've just sat in a lot of cars. That's why I started this YouTube channel. And I've never actually sat in this one. So don't take my word for it. I've seen these. Don't take my word for it. I'm sure the seats are very comfortable. Other than that, the entire car is very well put together, and you have a half digital gauge cluster. I will say Honda's very elegant in their means of doing this. Again, like I mentioned before, the bezel. You can see it, Honda. You're not fooling anyone. Other than that, everything looks very well. Dual zone climate, everything looks very good. Dual zone climate control, little hideaway cubby, nice plastic down there, dual cup holder ports, dual cup holders, and then a screen, just your average everyday things that you would expect on a car like this, and heated seats, if I didn't mention that before. Great, if you can find this as a daily driver, that'll be great. This one also has a lot of trunk space. This one kind of gets eaten up by the hybrid battery, but that one has a lot of trunk space. And the last vehicle on this list is the ES. Now, the S80 is luxurious in like an old Lexus type of way. You know what I mean? Like a 2010 LS. Older, has some issues, a little bit crazy, but is still an overall good, reliable car. This is more a modern-day luxurious car. So it has some annoying things. I'll get to that later. But other than that, it's still very reliable. It's a Lexus, come on. And it's got more modern styling. Remember, did I? Yeah, I showed you the price. Okay. Anyway, for this one, again, very modern, just Lexus luxury. You've got a very beautiful, stitched, I believe plastic dashboard. So, screen, full screen, usually it's not the crappy little crap that they usually give you on the screen. This is the technology package, which means it's fancy. You've, of course, got your seats. This one seems to have some wear on it, but other than that, everything in this car seems fine. You cannot be overly critical, right? The entire car seems very, very nice. Boot, a lot of room in there. Again, very nice bumper. Very nice car. I love this car, honestly. I can't find anything truly wrong with it. I love, the two-tone things. I love the rear, shade. It's actually more useful than you think it was. And then, of course, you've got the rear skylight. No, it's not a house. You've got the rear sunroof. And other than that, the car is just beautiful. You have a nicer, newer Lexus, luxurious steering wheel. You've, of course, got your driver information display and your stupid, awful, terrible iDrive system. Dual zone climate control, heated seats, cooled seats, whatever you would expect from a Lexus. Automatic lumbar support, and it's a button, not one of those things. Not bad at all. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment. I'm such an idiot. This one is currently selling for $18,999,000. So yeah, 105,000 miles. It'll last you forever. Gas V6. Not bad at all. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys very soon.